Hi everyone, welcome to Northern Zen Yoga. My name is Sandra. Today we're going to be doing a very specific yoga practice. It's not going to be a very long practice, so it'll be easy for you to go through this anytime you feel like you need to stretch out your hips. It's going to be focusing on getting the hip joint open and also working on our hamstrings and our IT band. IT band is one of these important tendons that goes from your hip down just to below your knee. And what it does is it helps to stabilize your legs. Unfortunately, when it gets short, it can cause some problems, especially in stability. And when you walk, you'll tend to waddle instead of taking a proper stride, and that throws your hips out of whack. So let's work on that today. In order to do this class, you're going to need a strap or something like a strap. So you can also stop this video right now and you can go off and you can get yourself a strap if you have one. Or if you don't, you can use a very long scarf. You can also use a long belt. But you'll need something in order to be able to control the movement of your leg while you're doing this class. So I'm just going to wait for a second. Pause right now. And now we're back. So here we have our strap. We're not going to need it right now at this moment, but first we're going to start our yoga class like we do any yoga class, by sitting and breathing. So let's take a moment here to just relax your hands down. You can close your eyes if you like to, and take a few breaths. Just breathe normally, breathing in and breathing out. After your first couple of breaths, let's focus on breathing into the belly. So when we inhale, we push the belly out rather than pull it in. So let's inhale, pushing the belly out. And on the exhale, we'll push the belly back in and up. And we're breathing through the nose, in and out. Unless you have a bad cold, I'd like you to be breathing in and out through your nose, this practice. Inhale. And exhale. Relax your shoulders, let your body relax, bring your chin up, let your shoulder blades slide down your back. Let your head, imagine you've got a little string attached to the top of your head and it's just gently pulling your spine up nice and straight. Wiggle into those sits bones, get comfortable. And again, we're sitting in Sukhasana, which can look like anything you'd like for Sukhasana. Sukhasana can be way out here, if this is you. Or if you're able to get one leg in and you've got a bad knee, you can have the other leg extended out. Keep that blanket handy. You may need it later as well, so that you can rest that bad knee, that bad side of your body, onto the blanket to help support it. And if you've been sitting in Sukhasana in any position that you've chosen to be in Sukhasana, let's just switch our feet for a second. So bringing the foot that was in the front back and the one that was in behind forward. And if you had your legs extended out, just recross your legs in a different direction. Keep breathing, following those rhythmic breaths in and out. We're going to warm up the back and the shoulders by inhaling the arms up, nice big stretch up, and exhaling them down to the floor. Inhale up, let's look up toward the ceiling as far as you can stretch your neck, and exhale, tucking your chin tightly into your chest. Inhale up, exhale. One more time, inhaling up, exhale down. This time on the down, we're going to stretch the fingers away from us, reaching for each side of our mat. Reach, reach, reach. Tuck your chin in. Move your hands back a little bit and rotate the palms forward. Trying to bring the shoulder blades toward each other. And relax. Next, we're going to just begin to lift up the shoulders and drop them down. Just gently. Drop them down. Inhale up, drop them down. Inhale and exhale. If you want to sigh it out this time, you can. Oh, that feels good. Once more, inhale up. And this time on the exhale, we're going to rotate the shoulders back and just bring them forward. Inhale up. Exhale as they come down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Just go around a couple more times. You may hear some creaking and cracking back there. That's okay. We're just getting things moving, getting the fluid into all the little joints. And stop, and let's come forward now. Let's get some arm action into this. Really get those shoulders moving now. One more time all the way around. And then we're just going to do some head rolls. We're going to roll the head to the right and then drop down and roll it over to the left side. And gently going back and forth, not too fast. Remember today in this practice, we're not here to hurt ourselves. Everything we do is within the range of movement we have right now. And stop and let's go a little bit back now. So just roll back as far as your body will let you and come down to the other side and then back again. And if you're experiencing any pain throughout this practice, it's a signal that you must stop. But you have to understand that there's a difference between pain, sharp, immediate, and very, very urgent, and just that achy stretch that you're going to feel because you're stretching your body and your tendons and your muscles a little further than they're used to. One more time, all the way back, and we'll come around in a complete circle. One side, let's go back the opposite direction, all the way around one circle. Back to center, and then gently bring your head up. We're going to come down onto our back now, and when we come down onto our back, we're going to start with the strap. So I'd like you, if you have your blanket handy, if you don't, please pause the video and go get it. We're going to begin with the right leg. So have it on that side of your mat, just in front of the mat, near your hip. Take your strap, extend it out as far as it goes, or your scarf, and we're going to hook it around our right foot. And we're going to come down nice and slow onto our back. Extending the foot up into the air. But before you do too much, just move it into one hand and just make sure your back is nice and flat. You can wiggle your shoulders around a little bit. Bring both your knees up if you're feeling like it's really stiff back there. And rocking, try to flatten everything down, relax it down. And so now we have our leg extended up into the air. And we're going to just pull gently until we feel the back of our leg start to talk to us. It'll tell you, hey, you're going into a place where I don't want to go right now. And when you get there, just stop. And then press your heel up, just adding more sensation. It's important that we keep the shoulders and the elbows down close to the floor if we can. If you can't, if it doesn't work with the strap you have, try not to be having your hands way up here though, too short of a strap. If you're right about here, that's okay. Better here. And we're just going to pull that leg toward our face gently. See, we can activate a little more stretch back there, pushing the heel up, pulling the toe down, and breathe into that stretch, sending your breath up the leg on the inhale, and on the exhale, let the tension in the leg go. Sighing here is a good thing. So let it out. And if you feel the tension, loosen up a little bit. Pull that leg just a little closer. Don't bend your knee to get it there. This is all about stretching the hamstring in the back of the leg here. So make sure your knee is not in a totally bent position. Everybody's joints are a little different. So if yours has a slight bend in it, that's okay. Other people have much more flexibility in the back of their knee and they're able to flatten their knee out. But there's a hyperextension that you have to be aware of. So if you're one of those people that can really hyperextend your knee joints and it looks like your knee is going the opposite way, you need to stabilize your knee by having it in a more neutral position. So we're going to reach up a little higher up into the strap. So we're going to be bringing our leg out to the side. We're going to take our opposite hand and we're going to press it into the hip that's on the opposite side and press down with all of our might. We want to keep our cheek of our bottom touching on both sides. We don't want to come over onto the side and lift up that cheek. Because we're working within the hip joint, we need to make sure that our legs are stable on the ground, that our cheeks are on the ground. So gently bring that leg out, put your elbow down for stability, and just come to the range of motion that you have today. Your blanket that's rolled up beside you, you can shove it in under your leg if you find that your leg is putting too much pressure on you to pull it out to the side. And take a few breaths, keep breathing. Allow that leg to relax out. Send your breath to the stretch. Keep pressing your hand down into your opposite hip. Keep yourself flat on the floor. You may not get out as far as I am. I've had a lot of practice at this. But even up here, if you're feeling a stretch in your hip joint, that's a good thing. You're doing it. Let's inhale slowly up. Grab your other hand. Let's help that leg come up. And we're going to take it all the way we can over to the other side. So we're going to throw this arm out for balance. And this time you can lift this bottom cheek up. And you want to keep the shoulders, though, touching the ground. So you want this shoulder to stay on the ground and bring it across as far as you can. And keep breathing. You're going to want to hold your breath here. Please don't do that. Keep breathing. Inhale and exhale. Push your heel out. Try to find that hamstring stretch again. And inhale, helping yourself bring that leg up, coming back up to a neutral position. Push the heel up, pull the leg up toward your face. Get back that stretch in the back of the leg. So this time we're going to be bending the knee and we're going to be bringing the knee down into the chest. The key thing you want to watch for is that your foot doesn't drop to do that. So we're just pulling down against the strap, pulling the knee into the chest, keeping the foot flat up toward the ceiling. This is an important part of it. Once you drop the foot, you're taking the stretch out the back of the leg. So you're still going to feel that intense sensation back in here, keeping your heel pressed up, foot flat, pulling the knee down into the chest. And keep breathing. Breathing, deep breaths. Once again, sending that breath to your achy, stretchy feeling in the back of your leg. Inhaling and exhaling it out. Release slightly. And this time we're going to be heading our knee toward the side of our body or the floor. So this is a twist that has to happen right in the knee joint, the hip joint. So we're going to take our knee and we're going to push it out so that it's facing outwards. And then we're going to take just one hand, get a good grip on your strap, and start to pull that knee, keeping the foot flat toward the floor. So watch you're not doing one of these things. Keep that foot upright as much as you can. And you may not get a whole lot of movement here. But the intention is to try to pull the knee down beside the body as opposed to onto the chest. Keep your other shoulder down flat on the mat. Keep your other cheek down on the mat. Take a deep breath. Exhale, pull a little more. And release. Still keeping our leg up into the air. Try to find that stretch back in the hamstring again. Now this time we're going to work on the IT band. It's a big tendon, as I explained before, that runs all the way here. This is the culprit that quite often causes a condition called sciatica. When this tendon starts to get very dry and tight and shrink, it starts to pull against your hip joint and it presses on a nerve, the sciatic nerve, which causes a pain to come up and down from the hip to just below the knee or just above the knee. So we're going to stretch this, and it's a really simple little stretch. You can do this at any time. The only thing is, it's very important to keep your knee facing you. So all we're going to twist is the ankle. So it's a little ankle movement. So place your hand on your knee just to make sure that you're not turning your whole leg. And we're just going to turn at the ankle by pressing the toes inward and pushing the heel outward. And you'll feel it. It'll start to ache right about here. Little tiny movement, doesn't take very much to start to feel it. The more pressure you put on that twist, the more you'll feel the sensation start to move upward. We're going to breathe into this for nice 3 deep, long breaths. So inhaling, exhaling, inhaling, exhale through your mouth. One more, keep the pressure on. And let it go through your mouth. And bend your knee, bring your knee toward your chest. It'll relax that tendon. And very, very slowly, let your leg come down to the floor. Relax here and just feel that side of your body. Feel how it feels compared to the other side. Notice how loose and relaxed it feels compared to the other leg. So we're going to work on the other leg. And I'm going to flip myself around so that you can still see me from the same direction. You don't have to do this. It's just for me being able for you to see my leg being worked. So once again, coming down. If you have to sit up in order to get this hooked around, go ahead and do it. Otherwise, just try to slip your foot into the strap. And it's very important, and I'm sorry I forgot to mention this before, not to have the strap in your instep. It should be hooked around the ball of your foot. So once again, strap is pulling us toward our face, our leg. Try not to bend the knee too much. Try to keep it straight as you can. And slowly, slowly pulling that in until you feel the sensation start. And then breathing into it. A little bit more. See if you can, once the pressure starts to release, you start to pull it a little closer to your face. See if you can get it going again, that sensation up the back of the leg. Maybe a little bit more. See if you can bring it in toward you. And then we're going to grab the strap. Press our opposite hand into our hip bone, keeping both cheeks on the mat. We're slowly going to let this leg fall over to the side. Use your elbow for stability. Push your heel out. No matter where your leg is in the distance between right above you and the floor, find that spot where you feel the achiness. You can tolerate it, but you're not feeling any pain. And just breathe. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Don't stop breathing. One more deep breath in. Exhale it out through your mouth. And let's bring this leg up. Use the other hand to grab it. Start bringing it across the outside of the body. You can lift up this hip now. Keep your shoulder touching down. And try to reach the floor as far as you can go. Push your heel out. Straighten your leg out as much as you can. One more inhale. Exhale. Let's bring it back up. Finding that stretch again. This time bending the knee, bringing it toward the chest, keeping your foot flat toward the ceiling. Each side of our body is a little different. You might find that this side is easier to pull down or harder. That's normal. Stretch the leg back out again. This time we're going to be heading to this side of the body, so we're going to turn our knee. We're going to push our knee out, keep our foot up flat, and we're going to pull on the strap, pulling down toward the floor. Watch you don't open your hip up here. Keep your hip in tight. And just put as much pressure as you can to get your knee to the place where you feel it stop. And release. Pulling the leg up toward us again. Finding that stretch. That's the first thing we have to find, is we have to find the stretch back here first. We're coming into the IT band stretch. So we're going to stabilize our knee and just turn at the ankle. Turning our toes in and our heel out. Till we feel that sensation up here. We'll feel it. If you're not feeling it, you probably have your knee bent. So make sure your knee is straight as you can get it. And then turning just at the ankle, not at the knee joint or the hip joint. Release. Bend your knee to relax it. Stretch your leg out. Feel the legs now, how they feel. Take a few deep breaths here and just appreciate how much different your body feels right now from the hips down. So we're going to sit up. We're going to sit up very carefully. You've been laying down for a long time, so you don't want to get a head rush when you go up. So let's come up with knees to the chest. Roll over to the side. Take a breath or two here, and push yourself up slowly and gently into a seated position. So now we've got these hips worked nice and soft and flexible. You could try sitting in your Sukhasana posture again and see if you can bring those legs a little closer into the body if you had them far away from you. Otherwise, we're going to do a few stretches and we're going to work the hips while they're warmed up. So we're going to begin with a half butterfly. So we're going to have the leg extended, right leg, beginning on the right leg if you like, and the left leg tucked in. And this leg can be anywhere that's where you can bend this knee and feel comfortable. So we're going to take this blanket. We're going to shove that under there, and if you need it. If you don't need it, let your leg hang out. Sometimes it's better to, if you're not feeling any pain with it extended out, to let it, because this is also stretching this hip joint as well. So take a deep breath in. Remember, the goal is to get your belly to your leg, not your head to the floor. So nice tall back, stretching up, reaching up through the rib cage. Take a deep inhale And on your exhale, just bring your belly down. Push your heel away from you. Try to straighten the back of your leg out as much as you can. If you're going to press down into the leg to increase the sensation, you press above the knee, not into the knee. Take deep breaths, inhale and exhale, sending the breath to the stretch. And then let's come up. Let's flip legs, stretching out the opposite leg that you did, tucking in the other one to wherever place you can tuck it into. Stretching up, nice and tall, bringing the belly to the leg. Inhale, exhale. Bring your belly down till you feel the stretch in the back. And once you feel it, just breathe, breathe, breathe. And once you start to feel that stretch relax, see if you can press down just a little more. This is important. Once the stretch starts to dissipate, you need to push it till you get to that place again. This is helping the tendons and the muscles to stretch just a little bit beyond their normal range of movement. Inhale, coming back up. Shake your legs out if you like. Let's bring our heels in toward our body. We're coming into cobbler pose. And we want to keep a handprint size space between our groin and our heels. So find that space, make sure it's there. That's the place for you to head your belly into. And I'm going to show you a little movement. We're just going to rock on our bum. And you're going to feel the place where your bones in your pelvis meet the floor. It doesn't matter how nicely round that bum is. You're going to feel it after a few seconds of rocking back and forth. You're going to feel where the pressure points are. And I want you to recognize those pressure points because this is an important movement in order to get the belly coming down in this posture. So we're going to inhale back, exhale as we come forward, rocking forward until you feel that you've made those little bones come off the floor as far as you can. You're going to feel a lot of tension in your groin area. You want to increase that tension by trying to open the feet up. So now you're stretching not only your hip joint, but you're also stretching the muscles that are in the inner thigh. We're also working on our ankles. By trying to open the feet up, you're giving the ankles a good stretch. This is important to have flexibility in the ankles, especially as we get older. It's very, very easy to injure yourself while walking, especially on uneven surfaces. So the more flexibility and strength we have in the ankles, the less chance of injuring them accidentally. So take a deep breath in again, straighten up your back, chin up, exhale, push down the belly toward the floor. Now you notice I'm not curling my head and trying to get my head toward my feet. That wouldn't be helping the hips to stretch. That would be just curling my back. So get away from that need to have to put your head someplace. Instead, think about putting your belly someplace. And if you've got a nice round belly, you're going to get to the floor a lot faster than some of us, but still, that's okay. You're allowed. Just work on bringing that belly down. Now, you might be feeling some sensations in your low back. That's good. You might be feeling more sensation in your thighs, and that's good too. Push your elbows into your thighs and try to push your legs down. Even if your legs are up here, get those elbows in and try to push the legs down with a little bit of pressure. Even if your legs are way up here, you're still able to bring the belly forward to get that action through the hips. One more nice, long, deep breath here. We're going to breathe out through our mouth. Inhale, exhale. And slowly push yourself up, coming up, pressing into the shins or the thigh, but don't press down onto your knees. Instead, help your knees up. Stretch your legs out, shake them out. So that's our practice for the hips. We're going to close our practice in our usual way. You can add this practice to the practice that I showed you, the 6 directions of the spine. And you'd have a nice long practice that would work both the top and the bottom of your body. But for now, I'm going to close the class by chanting Om. Now, Om is just a sound that some people believe is the sound of creation. But Om has a resonance, and in music, there's a resonance to everything. So different resonant sounds help to vibrate through the body and give you a feeling of well-being, and Om is one of them. So it doesn't even matter if you can do it well. It's all about just getting a sound vibration coming up and down through your body, and it's a healing sound. So we're going to take a breath in and out first, and then we're going to breathe for Om. So take a deep breath in, exhale, inhaling for Om. Om. Rub your hands together. And as you do this, think of the places in your body where we stretched your hips, your hamstrings. Close your eyes, place your palms over your closed eyes, and when you breathe in, send that energy there. And when you exhale, palms to ceiling, sending the energy you don't need back out to the universe, scooping up just one more little piece and bringing it back to heart center. Thank you for coming. Namaste.